Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, the journey to your first $10,000 as a video editor isn't always easy, but it's totally achievable if you approach it the right way. By the way, if you've never heard of me or don't know why I have the authority to talk on this topic, my name is Colin. I'm a gaming editor who's done over 35 million long-form views for a lot of massive channels, and consistently now I've been making over 10K a month just from video editing. So that's a little bit about me and why I can probably provide you some value today. And no, I'm not going to tell you to take cold showers and meditate because that isn't what gives you money. They're not bad practices, but this isn't what the video's about. I'm here to give you a step-by-step breakdown based on what's worked for me when I was starting out. No fluff, just real, actionable advice. And yes, I am reading off a script again because I am a video editor, not a professional speaker. That being said, let's dive into this. All right, so before we dive into the nitty-gritty of client work and portfolios, let's talk about something that's absolutely critical: your mindset. When I was just starting out, I had a lot of doubts. I'd look at these incredible editors over on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever, and you know what I would think? I'd say, you know what? I'll never be as good as them. Sound familiar? The truth is, such thinking will deter you. It's super important to shift your perspective and start seeing yourself as a business owner, not just a video editor. That means understanding your time and skills have real value. You have to believe that what you bring to the table is worth it. If you can get your mindset right from the start, everything else will fall into place, I promise. One thing that really helped me was setting small, achievable goals. Instead of focusing on making $10,000 right off the bat, I broke it down into smaller steps, like landing my first client, completing my first paid project, and so on. Each little win boosted my confidence and kept me motivated to push forward. Now that we've got mindset in check, it's time to talk about your portfolio. This is the golden ticket to landing clients, so you want to make sure it's as strong as possible. The key here is quality over quantity. You don't need a massive portfolio to land clients, but you do need a few solid pieces that really highlight what you can do. If you're passionate about a particular niche like gaming videos, vlogs, or corporate content, make sure your portfolio reflects that. This not only shows potential clients that you're skilled, but also that you understand their specific needs. Here's another important tip: make your portfolio easy to access and visually appealing. Whether it's on a personal website, a YouTube channel, YouTube jobs, doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's easy for potential clients to view your work and get a sense of your style. All right, so now we're getting into the good stuff: finding clients. This is where a lot of people get stuck, but I'm going to share some strategies that worked for me when I was just starting out. First off, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I know it can be intimidating, but trust me, it's worth it. When I was starting, I was all over the place. It took me a long time, but I had to really hone in on crafting proposals that stood out. It wasn't just about listing my skills, rather I sold myself and the value that I could bring to said clients, channels, or businesses. Twitter was another game changer. Over time, this helped me build a following and people started reaching out to me for projects. Do not underestimate the power of social media. It's a free tool to showcase your skills and connect with potential clients and convert people into potential clients. But here's the real secret: your first client might already be someone in your existing network. Don't be shy about letting people know what you're doing. You never know who might need a video editor or even just a one-off project done. Or they can know somebody who does. And remember, when those inquiries start coming in, don't undersell yourself. Trust me, I understand that it's tempting to take any job that comes your way. I was there once, especially when you're just starting. But be mindful of your rates. Your time is valuable and you deserve to be compensated fairly for your work. If a project doesn't feel right, it's probably not. So don't be afraid to say no. Let me just get a sip of tea here. Thank you. So assuming you'll listen to this and take appropriate action, you've got some clients lined up now. Awesome. But landing the job is just the beginning. To make a name for yourself and start earning $10,000, you've got to nail the client experience. This is essential. This is about more than just delivering a good final product. It's about how you manage the entire process from start to finish. When I was starting out, I quickly learned that communication is key. Clients want to know what's going on with their project, so keep them in the loop with regular updates. I would send progress drafts, ask for feedback, and make sure I was always on the same page as my clients. But communication isn't just about keeping your clients informed. It's also about managing expectations. Be clear about your timelines, what's included in your services, and how you handle revisions. This not only helps you avoid misunderstanding, but also shows the client that you're a professional who knows their stuff. Now let's talk about over-delivering. I'm a big believer in going the extra mile for clients. When I say over-deliver, I don't mean working for free or burning yourself out. I mean adding small touches that elevate the final product. For instance, if I'm editing a video and notice the audio could be enhanced, I'll take the extra time to clean it up, even if the client didn't ask for that. These small details can make a huge difference in the overall quality and can lead to repeat business and referrals. One thing I'd never realized the importance of when I was first starting out was the importance of building relationships, not just a client list. Sure, you're landing one-off projects, which is great, but if you can turn a client into a repeat customer, that's where the real money starts coming in. I made it a point to follow up with clients after completing a project. Sometimes it was just a quick message to see how the video was performing. Other times it was to share an idea for a future project. This helped me stay top of mind, and before long, I had clients coming back to me for more work. Another thing I do was ask for testimonials or referrals. If a client was happy with my work, I'd politely ask them them to leave a review or recommend me to others. Testimonials are gold. They build your credibility and make it easy for you to land future clients. Once you've got a steady stream of clients and you're ready to start seeing that income grow, it's time to think about scaling up. This is where you can really push towards that 10K mark and beyond. For me, scaling meant investing in mentors who had that missing gap of knowledge that I was missing. I was at 4K a month, and after working with a mentor and learning everything there is to know about running an editing business, the next month I hit my first 10K month. And while we're on this topic, if you'd like to be mentored by me one-to-one, where I will personally help you one-to-one to completely transform your editing business, teach you everything I know, and most importantly, scale your income 2, 3, or even 5x, book a call with me in the description. This is for serious and passionate editors willing to invest in themselves and their education, which you all should, but I understand for some it takes longer to learn that lesson. That being said, book a free consultation in the description where we'll meet up, talk about your problems, and see if we're a good fit to work together. Thanks guys, and back to the video. But scaling isn't just about gaining more clients, it's also about processes. I started developing templates for things like Zooms, color corrections, and on the business side, things like invoices and even project management. This might sound really boring, which it kind of is, but it saved me a ton of time and made me look way more professional to my clients. One of the most effective ways to scale your income as a video editor is to specialize. When I was starting out, I took on pretty much any project that came my way. Reaction videos, crime documentaries, even a commercial for a nonprofit. But as I gained more experience, I started to notice that certain types of projects were not only more enjoyable, but also more profitable, those being gaming videos, at least for me personally. Obviously, anyone can work in any niche, but this is just an example of what I was doing and what I'm still doing. So I decided to niche down. I focused on the specific kind of content that I loved working on and knew that I could do exceptionally well. This helped me stand out in a crowded market and allowed me to position myself as an expert in the niche. As a result, I was able to charge higher rates and attract clients who were willing to pay for that experience. If you're not sure what niche to focus on, perhaps think about what excites you the most. Is it editing music videos, creating cinematic travel vlogs, producing high energy sports content? Well, whatever it is, dive deep into that niche and make it your own with your own flair. Now on to the final step, and this one is ongoing, and that is to keep learning and growing. The video editing industry is constantly evolving, and if you want to stay competitive and keep those clients coming in, you've got to stay on top of new trends and technologies. When I was starting out, I made it a habit to watch tutorials, take online courses, and just experiment with new techniques. I'd spend hours playing around with different effects, trying to replicate cool transitions I saw in a video, or even learning about new software features. This continuous learning not only made me a better video editor, but also gave me an edge when pitching to clients. I could confidently offer services that other editors might not be familiar with, and that made me stand out as well. Plus, it also kept the work exciting and helped me avoid burnout. And it's not just about technical skills. Learning how to run your business more effectively is just as important, if not more important. Whether it's improving your communication skills, learning how to market yourself better, or even figuring out the best way to handle taxes, investing in your own growth is crucial. Which brings me back to remind you that if you really want to shortcut years of experimenting and failing, and getting back up on your feet only to fail again, book that consultation call with me, and after we get you onboarded, I'll show you the exact steps you can copy and implement into your editing business to scale to a new height that you never even knew was possible. And don't just take my word for it. Check out the many testimonials on my channel and Twitter. And we've got another dropping on this channel next Sunday. That being said, the link is in the description if you're interested, and like always, keep grinding. I'm so proud of you, and see you next week.